All right, guys, welcome. I welcome all of you once again to Marsego Empire. You're welcome. Have a seat. Let's have an interesting discussion concerning how we can submit our visa application. We're going to talk about how to submit a student visa application to Canada today. But before I set the ball rolling, I would like to say that I'm not a visa agent. I'm not a licensed immigration consultant, or I'm not an immigration lawyer in Canada. All the information that I'm going to share with you today, they are based on my personal experiences. They are based on my basic knowledge. So don't quote me anywhere. I will expect that all the information that I'll be sharing with you, you do your own due diligence on it before you perhaps use it. So make sure you cross-check the information that I'll be sharing with you. Right? Let's get it started. Now, at this point, based on all the information that we are going to talk about today, it means that you have been issued an acceptance letter, or you have been given an admission letter from a Canadian college or a Canadian university. Now, the acceptance letter that you have been given at this stage, it means that the acceptance letter is unconditional. If I say unconditional, it means that if there is any condition you need to fulfill about the acceptance letter, if there is any condition you need to fulfill about the admission letter, that condition has already been fulfilled. If you have fulfilled the condition, which is the payment of a deposit of 500, 1,000 or 1,500 Canadian dollars, if you have fulfilled that condition, then you will now be issued unconditional acceptance letter. You get that? Now, so when the unconditional acceptance letter is given to you, then you must start to put your documents together for the visa application. You get that? So you need to put the documents together for the visa application. Now, let's talk about how to put the documents together. How you need to put the documents together for the visa application. Now, when you have been issued an acceptance letter, you need to look on the acceptance letter. It contains your name, your date of birth, the time you need to start the school, where the school is located, the designated learning number of the school, then your tuition fee. Now, let's talk about tuition fee for colleges. For colleges, if it is a diploma, let's take from certificate. If it's a certificate programs are just 1 year. So if it is a certificate program, they only give you the total amount you need to pay for a semester and for a year, because it's just 1 year. So if it's a certificate, they will tell you one semester you are supposed to pay 9,000 Canadian dollars, 10,000 Canadian dollars. That is how they will put it. And sometimes they can tell you to pay for the whole 1 year. The whole 1 year based on an acceptance letter that I have gotten here. For one of the colleges, a whole academic year, you are supposed to pay 18,335 Canadian dollars. That is for 1 year. It is a certificate program. Now, if it is a university you are coming to study for undergraduate program, they will specify the various components of fees you need to pay. For example, this is one university. They are saying that the tuition fee, this is the tuition fee for the entire duration. The tuition fee is 31,496. Then for them, they have specified for books and personal expenses, which is 5,000. Then they have also specified meal / residence, which is 12,500. Then they've also specified for healthcare, because they'll be giving you a health card when you are sick, you go to the hospital. So they are specified to be 750. You see? So these are the things that you need to pay attention to. Now, based on the new immigration rule, the new immigration rule states that for any international student coming to Canada, there are two things you need to have at the back of your mind. you need to have your tuition fee for 1 year. 1 year tuition fee is supposed to be in your account. So if you are considering this college, it means that the tuition fee for 1 year is $18,335. Now, the new immigration rule also states that based on the various components of fees I've mentioned to you from this university, the tuition and all, the tuition, the meal and residence and all those things, that is your living expenses. The new immigration rules state that the new living expenses is 20,365 Canadian dollars. They said they want to see this in the account. So you need to consider 20,365 and the tuition fee for 1 year, which is 18,300 and something. So let's approximate this to be $39,000. $39,000. So it means that the proof of funds, which is we call the bank statement that you are going to use to prove to them that yes, this is the money I have in my account, this is the money I have in the account of my sponsor, must have a minimum of $39,000 minimum. So you need to show this. How do you show it? There are 2 ways you need to show this. One, you can show it from your personal bank statement. You, the applicant, if you are capable, you can show it from your personal bank statement. Number 2, you can use the bank statement of your parents to show it. Number 3, you can use a third party, that is using somebody, an uncle or any other person as a third party sponsor to prove it. These are the 3 things you need to do. Now, let's talk about using a third party. If you are using a third party's bank statement, there are documents that he or she must provide to you. Number 1, let's talk about those things. Number 1, the person who is going to give you his or her bank statement must give you the bank statement that he's giving you. Make sure the bank statement is legit. Give you the bank statement containing a minimum of $39,000. And I say based on things that are happening now, don't use a minimum of $39,000 bank statement to prove. Use a bank statement that will have times 2 of this money. If 39, you can use 60,000, 70,000, 80,000. It gives you a higher chance. You see? So the sponsor must give you his or her bank statement. If you are using your parents must give you their bank statement. Genuine bank statement. Now, your parents or the sponsor must write a sponsorship letter. This letter should state that Kofi Ama, you state this or the relationship Kofi Ama is going to study in Canada for his or her master's or for his or her certificate program for 1 or 2 years, and I am going to use this amount of money I have in my bank account to sponsor him or her to pay the tuition, living expenses, and all those things. So the person must write a sponsorship letter for you. You see that? Good. Now, the person must also give you his or her ID. You can use your passport to show this. The person can give you the biodata page of his or her passport. You scan that. If it's your mom or your dad or a third party, an uncle, you do that. Have you seen it? They scan it, the biodata page, and give it to you. Now, if the person is using, let's say, a business account, a sole proprietorship account, if that is what the person is using, the person must give you the registration document of the business. If it's let's say the person sells building materials, the person must give you the business certificate. The person must give you the form C of the business certificate. Have you seen it? Now, the person must also give you his or her tax clearance certificate. The person must give you his or her tax clearance certificate. You see that? Good. Now, after this, after the person has given you all this, the person must also do an affidavit at the court. The person needs to do an affidavit on this document. The person must do an affidavit on this document and give you at the court, stating that maybe if the person who is going to sponsor you is John, John will state his name. He's a Ghanaian. This is what he does. And he must state that he's going to sponsor you, state the relationship he has with you, state that I'm going to sponsor you so and so to study at this place. You see? Then when the person does this, then the person needs to also go to the affidavit is done at the court. Then the person must go to Foreign Affairs. If you are in Ghana, the person needs to go to Foreign Affairs and also do another legal document on, one, the sponsorship letter he is written, two, the Foreign Affairs affidavit, then three, you go to Foreign Affairs. If you are in Ghana, Nigeria, I know you also have a Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, for them to also prepare another document on this, stating that the person who actually endorse the affidavit is legit and do this. The reason why you do this is that it clearly shows to the visa officer the genuineness of your document. You see? Now, if the person is your mother who is sponsoring you, if the person is your mother, it means that your mother will give you his or her birth certificate. If it's your father, will give you the birth certificate, which will also show the relationship he or she has with you. Have you seen it? That is that. It's very, 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 very important. Now, if you are going to self-sponsor yourself, it means that if I'm the one going to school in Canada, I want to sponsor myself, the situation is different. If I'm going to sponsor myself, theoretically, they will tell you, if you are applying, they will tell you that you are somebody who will not work. But when you come, they'll give you a work permit. If you are somebody who is sponsoring yourself, it means that you need to show a bank statement. The bank statement you are going to use to prove must actually contain all your tuition fee for the duration you are coming to study. If you are studying for 2 years, the bank statement must contain the duration for the tuition fee for the entire duration of your studies. So you see, so if 1 year your tuition fee is 18,335 and you are going to study for 2 years, means that your 2 years tuition fee should be approximately $37,000. Then you add your your living expenses to it. So 37,000 plus 20,365. You see, so that should give you approximately $60,000. You need to show this. This is what you need to show in your bank statement. You see that? Now, let's proceed. Now, after this, there are certain people who also get loan. Maybe you've gotten an Empower loan. You see? Or before I talk about that, I have already spoken about if the person is using a sole proprietorship business bank statement to sponsor you. Now, what happens if the person is using a limited liability company? Limited liability company means that the directors are more than one. There are 2 or 3 directors. They have a secretary. They have a board. If the person is using a limited liability company, it means that one person cannot take a decision to use the funds of the company to sponsor you. In that sense, you need more documents. In their board meeting, they have to discuss that they want to give you the bank statement of the company, or they want to use the funds of the company to sponsor you to go and study in Canada. In that sense, the board meeting minutes that they have taken, you need to have a summary of that meeting. The secretary of the board of that particular company must write that the board of the company has actually agreed to sponsor you. So you need the board meeting minutes. The secretary of the board must write a letter that the secretary and the chairman of the board must endorse. And it means that the chairman of the board of that company or the CEO of that company must write the sponsorship letter for you. You see, it seems to be a bit different. Now, then they must also give you the tax clearance of the company. They must give you the Form C of the company. They must give you the Form A of the company. The Form C of the company gives details about all the directors as well as the secretary. Then the Form A talks about the objectives of the company. All these documents must be given to you. Now, if you are somebody who is using an Empower loan, we want to use an Empower loan. If the Empower approves your loan, they will give you some document you need to use for your visa. So you must attach those documents to show that this is what I'll be using to study. For me, I don't advise people to use their Empower loan to, even though you apply, get it, I don't advise people to use it in the visa application. Because one, the visa officer will know that, oh, this person don't have money. You want to go and live on loan. You see, that is number one. Number two, they know that, oh, you are not financially stable. So for me, I tell people to apply, but don't use the Empower loan to apply. The people use it, they approve them, but the approval rate is very low. Those who they refuse using Empower loan, the number is very high as compared to those they approve. So you can consider that you are going to US, you can use the Empower. You are coming to Canada, you can use the Empower. But make sure you have any other thing attached to it. Now, if you are using your parents, you are using a third party, it is also important that you, the person who is coming to study, you must also use something, a bank statement to prove that you have some small money. Number one, if your mother dies, who will pay the rest of the tuition fee for you? If the third party person who is giving you his or a bank statement to come and study, if the person dies, who will sponsor you? Then you also need to consider your age. If you are an elderly person, you are old, 35, 36, 37, 38, you are married, you also need to have some money in your account. So have some money, have some good money in your account to prove. So it means that you also print your bank statement and attach it to it. I'll speak about that as time goes on. So we have spoken about those documents that you need to gather. Now let's move on. The person who is coming to study, you need to show proof of family ties. This simply means that you have something important in Ghana that will make you return to Ghana. If you come to the country, you will not stay. Even though when you come here, there are processes that you can follow to actually stay in the country. But you need to show that indeed you have a connection with your home country. You need to show that there are valuable things in your home country that will compel you to go back. Let me refresh the body. Good, thank you. You have some valuable thing in your home country that will make you return. How can you show that? One, your parents. So if your parents are alive or your parents are dead, please get your mom or your dad, get their ID card, their Ghana card, their voters card, their passport, the biodata of their passport. Get it. You show that. Have you seen it? You are showing family ties. Now, if you are the person who is coming, the applicant, if you have keys, use the birth certificate of your keys. Get the biometric birth certificate of your keys. If they are 2, they are 4, they are 1, get their birth certificate. You can equally get their ID card. The birth certificate is going to show the relationship you have with them. You are showing family ties. It will show the name of the father. They are showing family ties. So if you have children, make sure you have their birth certificate. Have you seen? If you are married, you can use your marriage to show your family ties. So what do you have to do? One, get the birth certificate of your wife. Get the marriage certificate that is binding both of you. Have you seen it? If your wife is working, or let me use your spouse. If your spouse is a government worker or whatsoever, get his or her appointment letter. Get any document showing that this is what the person does. Then you get that. Now, when the visa portal, we'll be talking about that in our subsequent DC. There are 2 visa portals, the old and the new portal. If you are using the old portal, the old portals will state this thing, you have a column where you fill the names, the date of birth, the address of your siblings. If you are using the old or the new, you can have a picture. You can take a group picture with your siblings. Take a group picture and you label the picture. After church, a picture with my family. You can take a picture with your mom. Take a picture with your dad. You can, if it's a third-party sponsor, you can take a picture of that third-party sponsor. We are going to use all these picture or all these pictures in the documents, as a document that you are going to use to show that these are your family, these are the relationships you have with these people. Have you seen? Now, if you are in Ghana, all countries, but let me be specific, if you are in Ghana, you need to go to the police CID headquarters, just in Kanda, closer to the Flagstaff House. Have you seen it? You go to the police CID headquarters, you go and do your criminal check, which they call the police report. I think they do it in Kumasi. If you are in Kumasi, you can go to Kumasi CID headquarters, regional headquarters. They do it. These are the two places they do it. All the other places, I know you need to come to Accra. So if you are a voter, just come to Accra. So if you are from voter, once you pass the Flagstaff House, tell them you want to alight at Sankara. Alight at Sankara, cross the road like you are going to Osu. Have you seen it? From Circle to Osu, where they pass, just go. You go down, then you see police CID headquarters at the left. Carry your passport, your traveling passport. Go there. You want to do a criminal check or police report. This clearly will show that you don't have any criminal record and you should be admissible to Canada. So they give you a report showing that you don't have any criminal record. Then you need to do this. Now, if you are somebody who does any voluntary work, you are in an NGO. You are in an NGO. You can call the chief executive officer to give you a letter to show that you work with this NGO. Then you attach that document as part of your document. Now, if you are a teacher, you are a nurse, you are a government worker, you do any work, there are certain documents that you also need in relation to your occupation. Let's talk about one. Maybe you are a teacher, you've been given an appointment letter. You are a police, you are a nurse, you've been given an appointment letter. You need to use your appointment letter. You scan it. All these documents should be scanned in colors. The scanning should be in colors. So your appointment letter, your assumption of duty letter, you give your assumption of duty, use that letter. If you're in your work, if you've been given any other letter appointing you to any position, you are a head teacher, you are a form master, you are whatsoever, use that document. Have you seen that? Now, in your company, if you are a teacher, you need to get an introductory letter from your district director, your regional director, or if you are a teacher in senior high school, you need to get introductory letter from your head teacher. If you are a nurse, your HR administrator can give you introductory letter. The introductory letter, your company will write an introductory letter introducing you to the embassy. You'll say the introductory letter, your name, so and so. Then the above employee of this company has gained admission to study in Canada, gained admission to study maybe masters in economics at University A. The company or the institution has agreed for him or her to go and improve himself and come back to use his or her expertise, the knowledge that he or she will gain to come and help the company to improve. We will be grateful if the consular or the consulate or the visa officer gives him all the necessary assistance he or she needs. Period. This will do a whole lot of magic for you. It will show that, hey, this person is indeed a worker over here. The company wants him or her to go. It will do a lot of magic for you. Now, if you are a teacher, teachers, you have mutual fund. Any other person, mutual fund. Teacher, you have a mutual fund. You are contributing. Get your mutual fund statement. They should print all the statements for you. It will tell you, it will show that you have actually contributed some funds there. Use your mutual fund statement. Now, if you are somebody who doesn't have any insurance, get insurance document. You have maybe whatever policy, you are contributing some money there, get that. It will show that, oh, this person is saving money here. You have a good record. Use that document. Now, if you are a government worker, you have your SNIT document. You can get your SNIT card. You can get your SNIT statement. Use this in as a document to do the visa application. I've been talking about business. Business can do a big magic for you. So get your business registration document. If the business is in your name, get the business registration document. Get the certificate. Get the form C. Then the bank statement of the business. This is big deal. Get the bank statement of the business. Print it the last 6 months. Just 6 months, the last 6 months. Then you print it. Then the applicant, get your Ghana card. The applicant, get your Ghana card. Get your passport. Have you seen it? Get your passport. Now, another thing that they can also use to refuse you is you don't have any assets. Business is an asset. If you have car, use the car document. You can, if after using the car document, stand by the car, take a nice picture. Then that picture, describe it. The picture I've taken with my car. Nice car. Take a picture with it. Now, another document that you need is your land document. Don't just go and get a land and not even do registration. Have indenture, the site plan, the indenture. If you are somebody who has registered your land to stamp up to you. Have you seen? Now, with any other documents that you have in your possession that you can use any other documents you have that you can use. So these are some of the documents that you can use. Now, after gathering all these documents, you shouldn't stop there. Then your certificate, your school certificate. Maybe you have attended, you have your diploma certificate, you have your degree certificate. Add it. I don't advise people to add their transcripts. Add your transcript except if you are a first class student. If you are having third class in Yama class, don't add it to the visa officer or see, say, this person, you know that. Don't add it at all. Don't add it unless you are a first class student, you want to show off, you can add it. Now, what again? If you have any other certificate, any other maybe attestation, any other document that they have given you, you can actually use that as well. You get that? Yeah, you are add documents to prove that you are indeed a good asset. So after this, I'm going to mention some documents. Maybe your certificate, then your appointment letter, your bank statement, your personal bank statement. I told you if you are using a sponsor, the sponsor will do certain things on his bank statement. Your personal bank statement, you pick your personal bank statement. Then you pick your Ghana card. Then you pick your assumption of duty letter. Then you pick your introductory letter that your company has actually given you. You pick these documents. Do a colored copy of them. The copy of these documents should be very neat and bright. They should look clean. Then you pick these documents. If you are in voter in Ghana, I don't know, you go to where we call notary public. Write it down. People who are watching, please write it in the comment section. Notary public. Pick these documents and go to notary public. Mostly notary public, these are firms for retired judges and renowned lawyers who have retired. They are there. They have some stamps. The stamp seems to be, I don't know if they are yellow or I should say they are red. When you go, before you go to this, if you are in voter, they don't have this in voter region. I learned there is somebody who has it in who, but I don't think if the person exists again. I'm not talking about commissioner of oath. Notary public is different from commissioner of oath. You can use commissioner of oath if you do things within your country, but notary public is meant for people who want to do things outside. So you go to notary public with this document, then you do an affidavit on it. The affidavit you are going to do on this document is called genuineness or authenticity. It will state the name of the applicant, the address of the applicant, where the applicant stays, the occupation of the applicant, and state that the applicant has gained admission to study somewhere. Ability to study in a university in Canada, in a college in Canada, and the judge or the retired judge or the retired lawyer is saying that he or she has actually authenticated these documents, he or she has actually examined these documents, and the documents are genuine. So all the documents you are using, the documents are genuine. Then they'll stamp it right with their stamp. These are special stamps they use to stamp it right for you. So that shows that this document is what is genuine. You see that? God, you are good to go. Now you are good to go. Then these are the documents that you need to put together. Have you seen it? Then you are good to go. Then these are the documents that you are going to use in your visa application. The last document that you need is also called letter of explanation. They will tell you that if you have any explanation to give, you would like to give explanation about the school you want to attend, your future goals, about this document, your family. It's called letter of explanation. People also call it statement of purpose. This statement of purpose is different from the statement of purpose you write if you are going to do your master's. You write it to the school. This one is statement of purpose for visa application, or letter of explanation for visa application. In our next discussion, I'll come and take you through how to write this letter of explanation, because it's the last document you need to consider. Then in our next video, I'll also come and tell you how we can arrange these documents that we have spoken about. The arrangement of the document is key. You need to know how to arrange the document. So in our next video, we'll talk about how to arrange the document. In our next video, we'll talk about how to write your letter of explanation. Guys, you see? Good. Bialogo, I see you. Benson, I see you. Thank you so much, guys. So these are the documents that you need for your visa application. Guys, if you find this information so engaging, share it. Share this information for people to have access to it. Like the video. If you have any question, drop it after the listening. I'll address your comments. I'll address your concerns that you have there. Guys, that is it. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.